Hi, this is Chloe from magicalwellness.co, and today we're here for another Tapping Tuesday. The card that I pulled to determine the focus for today is the Five of Cups from the Santa Muerte Tarot. And as you can see here, we have a skeleton that's kind of up to its middle in water, and this very interesting kind of shaved off the top of its skull with a little labyrinth in there. And that really made me think about the way that sometimes we kind of scurry around inside our own minds and we're trying to make decisions, and we make them based on the information that we have available, or we make them based on, what's going on in our subconscious. We make them based on, what we feel like in the moment, our emotional situation, whatever it is. And sometimes we regret those decisions. Sometimes we make the best decision that we can in the moment, and yet because of what happens afterwards, we then come to regret the decision that we made, even though at the time we made it with the best of intentions or based on the best information that we had available. Sometimes you regret your decision as soon as you've made it. It varies a lot. So I'd like you to think about a situation in which you now regret a decision that you made in the past, and think about how much you regret it now. So it's not how much you regretted it at the time, because at the time you might have thought it was a great decision, or at the time you might have thought it was terrible, but now you kind of think, well, yeah, it wasn't the best decision and I regret it a bit, but hey, time has healed a little. So think about how you feel about it now, because that could be more or less than it was when you actually made the decision. And it's only yourself now that you can affect and change, really, rather than, you can't change the decisions that you made, nor how you felt about them, nor the information you had available at that time. That's what was, you can't change it. So how do you feel about it now? On a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is you feel like, meh, it is what it is, and 10 is, God, I regret that so much. And it could be something from, the distant past, something that happened in your childhood or your teens or a few years ago. It could be that you regret what you ate for dessert last night. It could be very recent past. So pick something that you would like to work on and how much you regret it, and note down that regret now so that you can see if and how that changes as we tap along on it. Okay, so even though I made those decisions in the past, or that decision, and I now have this regret about it, I deeply and completely respect myself. Even though I have regrets about what I've done in the past, I deeply and completely honour myself. Even though I regret choices that I made in the past, I deeply and completely forgive myself. Those past choices, bad decisions, or decisions just that worked out badly in the end, things I regret, poor choices. And maybe I did the best that I could at the time. Or maybe even at the time I knew that it really wasn't what I should be doing. Those choices that I regret. Regrets that I have. And the choices that spawned them. Decisions that I made. And maybe I didn't have enough information. Maybe the information I had was wrong. Or maybe it just wasn't possible to have the right information or enough information. Or maybe I knew exactly what I was doing and I still made a bad choice. Maybe I made an emotional choice. All these choices that I regret, bad decisions, decisions that didn't work out well, based on bad information, or just an emotional choice. These regrets from the past. So take a moment to tune in again to those feelings of regret and notice if they've shifted a bit. They might have changed their emotional tone, even if they haven't changed their intensity. Like you might feel a bit more sadness rather than frustration, or a bit more anger rather than confusion. There's a saying that you don't have to solve it, you just have to evolve it. So even if you bring about change, at least it means that there is a flow coming to things again. Because this is the reason why we tap on these points, is because our energy can get blocked, like in the chakras and in these acupressure points, which are the sort of end points of various meridian lines. And so tapping on them, you can start to bring a flow to your energy. And having it moving is better than having it stuck. That's goes without saying, I guess, almost. So even if it hasn't changed in intensity, or even if it gets a little bit stronger in intensity, if it's shifting, if it's moving, then there's hope that it will eventually release entirely if you give it a bit of time, if you tap on it. So let's do a second round on regrets from the past. First of all, jot down where you are now. Okay. And then we'll give it another go. Even though I've made bad choices in the past, choices I regret, I deeply and completely love myself. Even though I've made bad choices in the past, and I regret them, I deeply and completely respect myself. Even though I made bad choices, and now I have regrets about them, I deeply and completely forgive myself. These regrets, all these regrets, and I can't change what happened. I can't do things differently in the past. I can't change the choices that I made. And maybe I made them with the best of intentions, or maybe I didn't have the right information, or maybe I was acting from a place of emotion. All these choices that I regret, and they're in the past, and I can't change them now. And I'm open to the possibility of truly forgiving myself, of letting go of these regrets. And I'm open to the possibility that in letting go, I might open myself up to choosing differently now. And maybe I will make the same bad choices, and maybe I can make better choices. Even if I just make one very slightly better choice each day, that would still be a better choice. Take a moment to breathe. And tune in again to how you're feeling. Notice any changes, and if you want to, you can do this all over again, or tap on for yourself. Find what works for you today. And I'd just like to end with a very quick little exercise technique that can be very good, especially when you get your level of intensity down quite low, to say a 2 or a 1, to just kind of finish it off. So the idea here is based on a lot of science, actually, that raising our eyes upward, we uplift our spirits. And so with this, you point your eyes down, and then you'll lift them all the way up on an in-breath, and then close your eyes as you exhale. and it just helps to give you a little bit extra release. So we'll do that together, thinking about those regrets from the past, looking down, taking a smooth breath in. So I hope that you can release some of those regrets, let the past be in the past, and have a beautiful rest of the week. Blessed be.